The U.S. has begun to guide stranded ships through the Strait of Hormuz. The move comes after President Trump posted over the weekend that hundreds of vessels affected by the war will be guided through the strait so that they can get on with their business. To now shed some light on what the latest move means and how it will affect the current standoff, we welcome former naval commander and security and intelligence expert, Mr. Rich KOLKO, right here on the Live Zone. Mr. KOLKO, truly an honor to meet you, sir. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me on here, Guy.
And so what do you make of this latest move by President Trump?
Well, it's a move to try and get things moving. They've been kind of at a standstill the last several weeks now. Strait of Hormuz has to be open. There's been some negotiation and some demands made by both sides. And that red line in the sand has got to be the strait has to be open. That one cannot be negotiable. The entire planet counts on freedom of navigation through that zone. So the president's made some choices that hopefully will move in that right direction.
Yeah. Yet again, all eyes happen to be on the Strait of Hormuz, but I guess we have to pose the question, will this actually work with regard to what President Trump has proposed?
Well, I think tactically it will work. I think the issue will be the insurance companies letting their boats, ships transit the area based on what they still perceive as a threat. I mean, Iran, their Navy is basically gone. Their Air Force is gone. A lot of their military lines of communication, logistics, really damaged. So, but they can still cause problems with drones, some missiles. The body of water is so thin there, just 20-something miles, that they can still attack some of those ships. A big problem is the small boats that could, the speedboats that look like pleasure craft that could attack the ships. So the U.S. Navy can and is certainly capable of opening the Strait of Hormuz, but there's some danger to the sailors out there, so that has to be taken into consideration.
Yeah, yet again, something that's top of mind for so many, including folks back here at home concerned about their loved ones. Overall, how do you think things have been handled when it comes to the all-important Strait of Hormuz?
Well, I think the fact that it's not open means it probably hasn't been handled as good as it could be. I think one of the issues is negotiation has gone on here. This is a new world in that a lot of negotiations now taking place on social media. And I think that makes it a little more difficult. Once you post something and kind of back yourself into a corner, I think it's a little easier for the negotiators and those interested parties to meet in a closed room and actually discuss some of these issues, see if there's room to negotiate, as they say.
Yeah.
But it's back and forth right now. And we know that there's a list of the number of demands, but the two demands the president has said are not negotiable are Strait of Hormuz has to be open and no nuclear program, and he can't back down on those.
Yeah, Rich, obviously there are a lot of folks crying foul, specifically not too happy with the move that President Trump has made, in essence, taking the U.S. to war, if you will. And so with that being said, can you revert back, can you think back to any other time where the U.S. perhaps in this position, in this current situation?
Well, the politics aside, the military is there and is positioned and capable of winning, no doubt. We've got the strongest, most capable forces in the world, and they can do whatever the president decides needs to be done. Certainly, going back in history, there's been conflict after conflict that has had only partial support of Americans and the world. This certainly is one of them. We can see in the poll numbers that there's a lack of support for the war in Iran. But once you're in it, you got to be in it to win it. We can't lose. We can't be hoping for anything other than coming out meeting the objectives that the government needs to meet. You just can't want to not win once we put our men and women in harm's way here.
Well said. Yet again, Mr. Rich KOLKO, retired U.S. Navy commander, Navy pilot, and former FBI special agent, joining us right here on the Live Zone. I truly appreciate your time, sir.
Thank you, Guy.
You bet. All right, folks, we'll take a quick break, guys. We'll be right back.